Hello student, today we will start the chapter number 5 in geography, temperatures, pressures and winds. Okay, in the previous chapter we studied about the basic of how the atmosphere of the earth is composed and how it functions for the benefits of the living. However, that is not all. Atmosphere play a major role in the weather and climate condition which prevail on earth. In this chapter we shall see how the weather and climate conditions come about on our planet Earth. Yes, students, our first point is weather and climate. Even here, the news channel on TV given out weather reports and predicting how the weather will be for the next few days. Thus, you can understand that weather is hour to hour and day to day condition of the atmosphere. It can change at short interval. For example, we can predict if it would rain during a one-day cricket match or in the next few hours, or there is likelihood of a dust storm, etc. These changes occur faster in areas close to the areas as the three elements of wind, humidity and temperature undergo changes more rapidly there. On the other hand, climate is the average temperature and weather pattern of a particular region of a specific period like summer, autumn, etc. Thus, are usually based on a study of at least 10 years and gives a fair idea of the weather the particular region. This is why while people may know climate of a place and they rely on the weather forecast to plan their activities. In other words, we can say that weather means atmospheric condition for a specific place at a specific time, and climate means the average weather condition that occur in a region over a long period of time like 30 years. Yes. Temperature. What is temperature? Temperature is a measure of how hot and cold something is. A thermometer measures temperature. In science, we use degree Celsius. All liquid, usually alcohol or mercury, is sealed in a glass tube. When it's heated, it expands, thermal expansion, rising higher in the tube. When it cools, it contracts, filling less of the tube. The earth receives heat from the sun. The sun emits a lot of heat and is known as a ball of fire. Only a fraction of the total heat radiated by the sun reaches the earth. It is ascent, that is energy reaching the earth is as little as 1 upon 20 lakh of the total heat radiated by the sun. Okay, so the absorption of heat energy by the earth from the sun is known as insolation, and the earth's surface through back the heat is received during the day, and this is called a terrestrial radiation. You just learn about the different causes of heat insolation. Let us see the general pattern of insolation or various zones of the earth in the table below. Okay, now the torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. These are the heat zones. Okay, location torrid zone between 23 and half degree north Tropic of Cancer and 23 degree and half south Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, and receive direct rays of the sun. Hottest zone is there. Okay, and temperate zone means not temperate zone 23rd and half degree north to and 66 and half degree north. Okay, south temperate zone is 23 and half south to 66 degree and half south. Receive slanty rays of sun. Moderate insolation levels and moderate climate here. Okay, frigid zone means north frigid zone 66 and half degree north to north pole, and south temperate zone is 66 and half degree south to south pole. Extremely angular rays, much lesser insolation, remains very cold during the year. Yeah, measurement of temperature. Temperature is measured by a device called the thermometer. You must have seen the instrument that we use to measure our body temperature to check whether we have fever. It is called a thermometer, which could measure the level of heat in your body. Similarly, there are other kinds of thermometer that are made of measure temperature of the atmosphere. Okay, there are various types of thermometers. Some have mercury to measure the temperature, other are mechanical or electronic. Okay, the unit of measurement for temperature is Celsius. We denote is capital C. Okay, and water freezer at 0 degree Celsius and boils at 100 degree Celsius. The tool for measuring temperature is the thermometer. Yeah guys, pressure and thickness. Have you ever wondered as to why a balloon swells up in a spherical manner when air is pumped into it? When you place a piece of stone on a paper, it exerts pressure only downwards, but air exerts pressure on all sides equally. That is why when you fill air inside a balloon, it becomes spherical. Air also has weight, although gases are light, but they have molecules and it is also have dust and water vapor. Therefore, air has weight and this weight affects the surrounding as it accepts pressure in surroundings. Okay, so it is called and measured as pressure instead of height. Okay. Used to measure atmospheric pressure could be an aneroid barometer or mercury barometer. Since mercury barometer is bulky, is not a preferred device. Okay. You would be surprised to know that had the atmosphere been unfortunately uniformly dense, it would have been only about 8.5 km thick and not 800 km. As one goes higher, there is less oxygen. Soldiers living in high altitude of Kashmir and Siachen glacier so have to get used to living in those places with less oxygen by a process called acclimatization. Yeah guys, we know that equatorial regions are very hot and gets cooler as we move toward the poles. So going by this, the wind should only move in one direction as we move from equatorial regions toward the poles, but it is not so. The process also undergoes changes due to rotation of the earth and therefore there are different pressure belts formed on the earth. Okay, so the picture below shows the various pressure belt as they exist on the earth. Flowing of air from high pressure areas to low pressure areas is called wind. Normally breeze or light shifting of air locally is not wind. Wind are of slightly higher intensity and have a pattern. You would have felt different intensities of wind if you walked through a storm or seen a storm. See the various type of wind, let us understand some terms associated with winds. Winds get their names from the direction they flow from. For example, northeasterly would means they flow from northeastern direction. Air moving horizontally along the surface of the earth is called wind and air moving vertically is called current. Air moves from high pressure to low pressure. Earth rotates from west to east, so wind gets reflected in the opposite direction. They thus have different direction in northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Winds are broadly classified into three types. Wind. These winds blow in the particular direction constantly. They are also known as permanent wind and prevailing winds. They move from permanently high pressure belt toward the low pressure belt. Example of such winds are polar winds. Yes, these periodic wind means these winds at time changing direction due to the variation in temperature on the earth's surface. They are also called seasonal winds, and a fine example in the monsoon wind which affect India every year from May to October. Is local wind. These are winds which are purely local in nature. They blow or short duration, have no specific direction or time. Example, the hot winds blowing in northern India during summer locally known as Lu. Some other example are the Chinook in North America and Han matters in North Africa. Direction and speed of wind are important as they affect aircraft weather pattern, climates, and even the production of electricity by a wind turbines. Wind speed are measured in known as knots as direction is seen by the wind vanes and wind socks. Yeah guys, moisture and humidity. Another important constituent of air is moisture. Air contain a large amount of water vapor. Heat and winds cause evaporation of water. What happens after a games period when you sweat a lot of and come back and it's under the fan? The sweat evaporate and you feel cool. Ever wondered where the sweat drops finish? A small amount of a liquid such as water that makes something wet or moist. Wetness caused by water, drop of wet gleamed on the window. Yeah guys, the amount of water vapor in the air is called humidity. The capacity of air to absorb moisture is dependent on its temperature. First, let us consider 5 humidity variables: vapor pressure, mixing ratio, relative humidity, dew point temperature, bed bulb temperature, etc. Cloud and cloud formation. Water vapor along with warm winds rises upward at the atmosphere at higher altitude is low. The vapor condenses around the dust smoke particles which we can see in the form of cloud. Cloud get blow around with the winds. Clouds are categorized as columns, stratus and cirrus as per the height at which they get formed and identified by their particular shape. The rain wearing clouds are called nimbus. It is humidity in the air which is cause of rains. Let us now understand the causes of formation of cloud in the air and later their shedding of water which is called precipitation. Means water that falls to earth any form like rain, snow, sleet or hail, it is called a precipitation. The system wherein the cloud shed the water in the form of droplets, hails or snowflakes is called precipitation. Okay, most common is rain. This could happen due to any of the three reasons given below. Okay. First one is conventional rainfall. Wind blowing over the sea and ocean surface gathered lot of moisture. As they blow over shores and land, they get heated by the warmer surface on the land. Therefore, they get warm and rise up and also form cloud. Okay, as the cloud reaches higher levels, they cool down. This cooling reduces capacity of the cloud to hold water and it comes down in the form of droplets. This phenomena is nearly a daily occurrence in the equatorial regions, that is conventional rainfall. Okay. Or orographic rainfall. This type of rain occurs when weather vapor laden winds come across steep mountain and slopes. The mountain causes the wind to rise. As their wind rise, they cool down and the clouds are unable to retain of moisture with precipitation in the form of rain. At many times the clouds shed all their moisture on the windward side and the leeward side remain dry. Such as regions are said to be an rain shadow. Okay. Frontal rainfall. When a mass of wind moves, the frontal portion of the mass is called front in a cyclonic condition. As when a warmer mass of air comes across another mass of air with cooler temperature, the warmer mass rises above the cooler mass of air. You have already learned that the warmer air has more moisture holding capacity. Okay, once this warmer mass rises up, it cool down rapidly and condensation take place in this mass. Such a condensation leads to precipitation or rain. As this phenomena occurs due to the pressure of front, this type of rain is also known as frontal rainfall. I hope you student you understood what is in this chapter.